Good morning, guys. Mr. Fisher here. I hope you're all going well on this Wednesday morning. Hump day. Nearly getting through the week to another weekend of staying at home. All right, today I just wanted to go over something. This is mainly for the parents, actually. So I just wanted to go over some maths learning goals for us. So here I'm on the Victorian Curriculum website. This is an open website. You can always go and visit it. The website is victoriancurriculum.vcaa.vic.edu.au. But if you just search up Vic Curric or Victorian Curriculum on Google, it'll be the first thing that comes up. So I've navigated my way from the homepage through here with curriculum, but I'll show you how I did this. So you go from the homepage, this is what you get when you go to the website. You can look at this anytime you want to. It's the whole curriculum that all the teachers in the country use to teach your lovely children. From here I go to mathematics, curriculum, click from there. And here you can filter it. So if your child is in year 1, they are working towards level 1. If they're in year 2, they're working towards level 2. And I also usually, as I'm checking this for my planning reasons, I usually just check both of those because we have some kids that are still at foundation level. We have some kids that are a bit higher too. So it's just good to keep a little eye on what the learning outcomes for those children are. So from here, we can actually look down here. It's all lovely and categorized for us. So let's just go through some of the learning goals that we have. So this is the foundation level stuff for the patterns. So sorting out and classifying familiar objects and explaining the basis for these classifications, and copy, continue, and create patterns with objects and drawings. So that's just basically really exposing them to the idea of a pattern, where they might be. Very basic at that level, as you would imagine. So using patterns, using materials, sounds, movements, or drawings, extending patterns using materials and drawings to the right and the left, identifying what part of a pattern is being repeated. So that's and then following a short sequence of instructions to make a pattern, or to carrying out a specified sequence of actions to move an object from one location to another. That's, for example, go straight for 5 steps, go left for 2 steps, go right for 2 steps, that sort of thing. Playing a simple rule-based game, moving a specific number of places according to the result on a die in a chance-based game. So that would be but really simple. Make a little... in fact, this is actually a test we do at school with them. You make a little playing board, which I can easily send to you if you need one. It needs to be blank, doesn't have to be fancy. When you're blank, just get a dice, roll it, move your way around. Pretty basic at that level. But that's okay, that's what little cherubs need. All right, in year 1, and which is some of us in our class, here are the outcomes for patterns in algebra, which we're working towards in the next couple of weeks. Investigate and describe number patterns formed by skip counting and patterns with objects. So that's a lot of what's been done on Seesaw and in some of your books, using place value patterns beyond the teens to generalize a number sequence and predict the next number. So a few counting games that you might have noticed in their work. So working out what the rule is and then working out what the next number is. Investigating patterns in the number system, such as the occurrence of a particular digit in the numbers to 100. So those hundreds charts that hopefully you still have at home, they're awesome for this. Do count by 2s and color them in red. Count by 5s, color those boxes in blue. Count by 10s, color those boxes in red, and then notice what patterns what patterns come from that. Excuse me. And then recognizing the importance of repetition of a process in solving problems. So using one-to-one, these are the elaborations I'm reading, by the way, which is basically just more information about the content descriptor. Okay. Using one-to-one correspondence to determine which of 2 sets is larger or if they are equal size. That's about counting. So I'll just mute my phone. My mum is messaging me photographs of me as a child because I asked her to, for something that you'll find out about later. And dividing a set of blocks in a simple ratio such as 2 for me, 1 for you. That's a fun one to do with cookies. If you want a fun activity, bake some cookies. And then say, okay, I've got a really awesome pattern for you. See if you can work it out. And is it fair? 2 for me, 1 for you. 2 for me, 1 for you. And they'll very quickly be like, no, it's not fair. Okay, year 2. So the year 2 level descriptors for patterns in algebra. Describe patterns with numbers and identify missing elements. So this is probably sounding a little more familiar to some of you. So describe a pattern created by skip counting and represent the pattern on a number line. We haven't looked at number lines much yet. We will. And investigate features of number patterns resulting from adding 2s, 5s, or 10s. There you go. Your child may be at that level. They may be a little bit below. They may be a little bit above. That's all good. That's fine. Would we miss anything else there? Sorry. Yes. Solve problems by using number sequences for addition or subtraction. So represent a word problem as a number sentence. Write a word problem to represent a number sentence. Apply repetition in arithmetic operations, including multiplication as repeated addition and division as repeated subtraction. Use technology to construct a sequence of numbers based on constant adding or subtracting from a given starting value. and sharing a set of objects equally between a small number of groups, which is kind of their introduction to division, which they will obviously be learning a lot about as they get a bit older. And just wrapping up because I have to make a teleconference call in just a moment. Down here, this is the level 3. Sorry, it's over here. There. Going down to patterns in algebra, which is our focus for this week and next. Describe, continue, and create number patterns resulting from performing addition and subtraction. So a bit of an expansion of the year 2 program. Identify and write the rules for number patterns. Describe a rule for a number pattern, and then make a pattern. This is level 3, isn't it? Yeah. Use a function machine, which you might have seen in your packs from last week, and the inverse machine as a model to apply math rules to numbers or shapes, and the elaborations there are to find and describe simple rules and words to solve problems, and to use simple function machines to represent and apply a process or the inverse process, such as increase or decrease the value of a number by a specified amount. A big, long, complicated way of saying that if you come up with a rule, you put a number into a machine, and then it comes out, and then going backwards, you put the product back into the machine, and then it spits out the number that you started with. A lot of the students in our class had those activities in their packs last week. I hope this clears up a little bit about what they're learning this week for maths, what the learning goals are. It's in very adult-friendly language, not child-friendly language. So really this video, as I say, is for the parents, not for the kids. So if you're one of my students and you're watching this thinking, what does all this mean? Now's the time to go and say, Mom, this video is for you, not for me, okay? In the meantime, guys, I will catch you very soon. I hope you're enjoying your learning, and I'll be back later with some more videos. Bye, I miss your faces.